90 drive, nothing west.
Okay, so your program is one of the programs, and I see we have the addresses and phone numbers on the screen. So you all are decentralized. You have an office at 951 Government Street, Wilson Avenue in Pritchard, and also in Tillman's Corner area, 6456B Highway 90. So you all are decentralized. Why did you all come up with that particular format as far as being decentralized throughout the city area?
So as to reach the greatest number of those eligible participants, and it was decentralized, especially for that particular purpose.
So if people who are viewing in want to apply, then they would go or call the numbers that are shown on the screen at this time?
Absolutely.
Okay. How does the program actually work, Ms. Fowler? What is expected of the participants of the program? And we're talking about young people, 16 through 21. How does the program actually work?
We try to raise their educational level, Carnell. They, especially if they're dropouts, we're geared towards helping them obtain their GED, simply because an employer wants a person to have a diploma or a GED. We also test them vocationally to see what type of job they would be best suited for. We teach them what is considered job-seeking, job-keeping skills, and then we assist them in finding jobs.
Okay. And how long is the project structured, and what type setting are we talking about, Mr. Hudson?
Okay, I'm certainly be glad to answer that. The project, or the classroom participation period, has a maximum period of 8 full weeks. However, we do use what we call the open entry and open exit format. So how long a person will remain there will be predicated upon how much work he or she needed to do initially. So one person may well stay for 2 weeks because of the speed with which he or she can work and the amount of work needed to be done initially, and another at the same time, on the other hand, may stay for the maximum of the full 8-week period. And the materials, or self-pacing, they use self-pacing materials, which will allow for individual differences in our students. We recognize those individual differences, realizing, of course, that people have different rates of learning. And so we find that we are able to reach the greatest number of them, provide the greatest amount of supervision and assistance by using that particular format. So we do use materials to remediate that are designed for self-pacing.
Okay, so by using the open entry and open exit, the participants can work at their own pace. So if students or if someone is listening in, they don't have to really be afraid of not being on a certain level and keeping up with other students. They all work at their own pace.
Absolutely. We find that group lockstep method of teaching would not work very well for us because of these individual differences. And so those who participate with us find that this method of working at one's own pace and not having to be competitive and moving right along with everyone there works very well for them, and that works well for us too.
Okay. Now, we're talking about young people, 16 through 21, and once you get 18, 19, you need some kind of income or some kind of help if you are going to try to go to school, regardless of what kind of school. Are the participants paid while they're enrolled in the project, Ms. Fowler? Do they receive any kind of monetary benefits? Or?
That was taken into consideration when the program was formed. Carnell, they do receive a small stipend which allows for expenses such as bus fare, gas for transportation, lunches, whatever they need to use it for as far as their daily activities with the schools are concerned.
Okay, and there's been a lot of talk about remediation, and for maybe someone viewing in who may not really be totally aware of what this remediation situation is all about, what are we talking about when we're saying that you all help them with their remediation?
Of course, I'll respond to that. I'll give it a shot. And if I trip, foot, and stumble, Carol, then I expect you to help me out. We first assess their academic location. In other words, where just their level of achievement initially as they come into the program. And after making that initial assessment, we develop for them with something we call a modular analysis of learning difficulty. Long-term meaning, of course, we develop for them an individually prescribed learning plan that's designed specifically for that particular young man or young woman. And he or she then sets out to fix, if I may use that term, those areas that we found to be deficient. And in that sense, we are remediating or providing a remedy for, say, learning difficulties.
Okay. And Job Training Partnership Act, of course, it was initiated with a large emphasis being placed on the business sector. It's a partnership between the public and the private sector. How does the local business community benefit from the Education for Employment project where you all work with the young people?
Okay. The business community can benefit in a good number of ways, but in two ways particularly. One, because we're dealing with such a large group of young people, and we have them there with us, and we understand and know pretty much about them insofar as our having assessed them and providing learning situations for them, then that means that we actually have a ready pool of applicants that a business person or industrial, someone in industry